Hi, it's Robbie Raw with another recipe with Raw Truth Health. This one is my favorite, my very favorite, because I love biscotti, I don't know, whatever you want to say, biscotti or biscotti. But anyway, these are almond cranberry biscottis made with almond flour. They are to die for. And I mean, come on now, people. Everybody needs to have a biscotti, and these are wonderful for the holidays or even when it isn't the holidays. So I'm going to tell you how to make them right now. All right. So the ingredients really are simple, and we're going to start first of all by putting the oven on at 350 for 20 minutes. We're going to do the first part of it for 20 minutes, and then you take it out, let it cool completely, and then cut it into wedges, which turns out to be this. So the first thing you want to do is turn the oven on for 350, and you're going to bake the first thing for 20 minutes. Before that, let's get going. All right, so the recipe calls for 2 eggs. I'm doubling the recipe here because, you know, I'm Italian. So anyway, I'm going to put the eggs in here. And then it calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, I already made a batch with vanilla extract, but I'm going to use almond extract this time. And so anyway, I'm doubling it, 1 teaspoon times 2. And then it calls for you to also add the sugar in. Now, here's where you're going to make a choice. You can either use monk fruit, which is no glycemic, which is great for you, or you can use coconut sugar. So it calls for 1/3 cup of monk fruit or coconut sugar, and it measures the same. So I'm going to double that. So I'm going to pour that right in here. And then also I'm going to put in lemon. It calls for 1/4 teaspoon of lemon extract, and I doubled that as well. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to mix that with the mixer until it gets frothy. So I got my mixer. So you see how it's getting frothy now. You just want to mix it well. And I like the hand mixer, you know, it's so easy. All right, so it's nice and frothy. So those are the ingredients you start mixing first. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then add in the flours, okay? So now, this is what makes it different, right? It's almond flour instead of white flour or wheat flour. So almond flour is, of course, gluten-free. So if you're gluten-free, this is wonderful for you, and I love the taste. So it calls for 1.5 cups of almond flour. Now, I like to use the very fine almond flour, and I doubled that recipe, so it's 3 cups. So I'm gonna pour it right in here. And then it calls for coconut flour, which is another favorite of mine. So this is, it calls for 1/4 cup of coconut flour, and I'm gonna double that as well. Just pour that right in. How easy can it be? And then it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and I use this Bob's baking soda. So again, I doubled the recipe there. I'm gonna throw that in. And then it calls for 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Got that in. Throw that in there. And so I'm going to mix that all up now too. Okay? So easy. So you just make the froth first, and then you add in all of this. Now this is going to get thick. So I got it on low. I'm just going to mix it like so. And you see, you know, it doesn't really make that much. That's why I'm doubling the recipe. And I've already made some the other day. This is really nice for the holidays. Okay, so now I'm gonna take it out of here. And I kind of lift it up and let it come out. And then I take it out with my hands as well. So you just get something to take it out of the mixer. Now there's, you know, some people use their hands, but it's quite easy with the mixer to do. So I don't mind doing it this way. And as you can see, it mixed really well. Okay. Now, the next step is going to be to just fold in the cranberries and the nuts. Now, you know, you can use chocolate chips if you want. This recipe doesn't call for chocolate chips, but why not? All right. But I have the cranberries that I'm going to use. Just so it was 1/2 cup of cranberries, and then I doubled that too. And then I have the sliced almonds, 1/2 cup of sliced almonds. Look at how nice those are. Times 2. Protein is always good. Okay. And then we're just going to fold it in like so. Okay. So I'm just folding it in. And it's going to be really nice. And this is wonderful with tea or with coffee. And again, the cranberries for the holidays, or even without the holidays, it's perfect. I love the holidays. The holidays are coming. Did you know that? Now, all right. So I just want to see. So now you can line your tray with parchment paper, or you can use these silicone liners that I just bought. Okay. So look at how nice that is, just folding it in. I'm also going to use my hands, and since I have gloves on, I'm just going to knead it a little bit more. And then fold it in. Okay. So now here's the tray. So what you do now is you make a log, okay? So you make a nice long log. And let me move this stuff out of the way so you can see it. All right, a little bit better. Okay, so I'm just gonna this couldn't be any easier, you know, easy peasy. So this is what you do. You just get this nice long log. You just keep adding to it. And start pressing it in to the pan. I mean, look at it. As long as you get the ingredients out first, it really does not take a lot of time. And there's no butter in here, no coconut oil or anything like that, although coconut oil and ghee butter or organic butter is fine. But for people who don't want that, this has no butter in it. Okay? So what I'm going to do is just make this long roll here. I just keep pressing it and shaping it. And like I said, I'm going to put it in the oven and bake it at 350 for 20 minutes. And the house smells amazing. Okay, so that's all you do. Now, some parts are wider than others, but it doesn't really matter. You just keep pressing it down so it's not too thick, okay? Because what I'm going to do when it comes out is I'm going to cut it in half all the way down. So I'm going to actually, after it bakes for 20 minutes in the oven at 350, when it cools, I'm going to cut it right down the middle like that. And then I'm going to slice little wedges all the way down. And then what you do is you actually turn them, because they come out like this, but you turn them on their side and you bake or you bike. I'm talking about biking now. You bake more. I have to bike after this. All right. And then you bake longer for 15 to 20 minutes. So you actually double bake this. So once it's cool, then you can do stuff in the house and whatever while it's cooling. And then you bake it again at 350 for 15 to 20 minutes. So again, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes. Take it out. Let it cool. Then I'm going to cut it right down the middle like this. And then just make wedges like about 1 inch long. Turn each of those wedges on its side and then bake again for 15 to 20 minutes. And that's all you do. And it's so easy peasy. And then you get this wonderful biscotti, whatever you want to say. It's wonderful and it's great for the holidays. And who doesn't like a little cookies with their tea or their coffee? I'm Robbie Raw, and this is Raw Truth Health.